So thank you for everyone's time today. We really appreciate having the opportunity to meet with you this morning to first start to talk a little bit about the LTI Advantage integration with our Connect platform. And we wanted to sort of highlight what is coming as far as our integration with Connect as it relates to Blackboard. So if you don't already know, Blackboard will, by December 2023, will no longer support the use of the building block, the McGraw-Hill Connect and Create building block, as well as the partner cloud integration. So with regards to the existing integration that is currently in place and that you'll continue to use right now, come December 2023, we're looking to transition from your existing integration over to what we're calling LTI Advantage. And LTI Advantage will be a new tool link that will live within your Blackboard environment that you'll begin to use in the coming terms to integrate with our Connect platform. So we just kind of want to talk a little bit about why this change is happening and what this will include and how the process will work. So I'm going to quickly highlight, again, just to recap, the reason for us moving to LTI Advantage is to replace the existing integration as it currently lives today within your Blackboard environment, given Blackboard's timeline in terms of moving off of the current integration. So with LTI Advantage, this will be a new tool that will be available within your Blackboard environment. And just to kind of talk a little bit about some of the benefits of using LTI Advantage. So with the release of this new integration, we're looking at improving upon various areas within your experience. One in particular, and this is something that you don't necessarily see, but we're looking to increase the security between Blackboard and Connect. So this is more behind the scenes, but certainly we're really improving upon and increasing the security behind the scenes between the integration and how it works with Blackboard. Also within LTI Advantage, we're looking at making some changes to how a user, so whether it's an instructor or a student, how your experience is currently in terms of pairing between Blackboard and Connect. And what I mean by that is we're looking at making the user experience cleaner and much easier from both an instructor and student perspective. So upon your initial launch of the LTI Advantage tool from Blackboard, we're looking at inheriting some basic information in terms of who you are to help us better identify whether or not you have an existing Connect account. Overall, we're looking at making the experience from both the instructor and student perspective much cleaner and easier in order to sign in to Connect from Blackboard. So we're making some significant improvements there. Basically, one thing to point out is we're looking to automate more of that experience. So for example, when we look at the student experience, right now when a student registers and pairs Connect, through the integration, it takes them through various steps, right, to create their account and pair their account with Blackboard. With LTI Advantage, we're making it much cleaner and easier to further automate that process. So basically eliminating a lot of the steps that currently exist today in terms of integrating with Blackboard. We're basically removing most steps and just allowing the integration to further automate the process for students to more cleanly and provide a quicker solution in terms of getting them registered for Connect through a simple click of the LTI Advantage tool from Blackboard. It's going to automate and create their account to allow and improve upon their user experience in terms of getting started with Connect through the integration. In parallel, we're also making improvements around the section pairing process with Connect. Again, making it less clicks, cleaner for you as the instructor to pair your course with Blackboard and Connect. we're basically eliminating a lot of the clicks and making it more seamless. Some of the other yes.
I think this is a relevant question. Sharman asked, will courses need to be rebuilt with Thin Connect when the new integration takes place?
Good question. So as of today, if you were to use LTI Advantage, there is an upgrade process, right? So if you were to take your existing course and want to then, if you're copying it from a previous term and you're looking to move into LTI Advantage, the way it works today is that there is a three-step process in terms of making that upgrade, right, from Partner Cloud or Building Block to LTI Advantage. And it does require in your Blackboard shell to remove all existing Connect assignment content, as well as grade items to basically make that shell clean. So when you go to pair with LTI Advantage, you're able to pair and redeploy that content. So that's how the process will work today if you're looking to upgrade from your existing integration to LTI Advantage. However, keep in mind we are working on improving that process to make it more cleaner so you don't have to delete any existing content if you're making a copy from a previous term. We're looking at making it easier just to allow you to relink that content. But as of today, it will require some additional cleaning of your Blackboard shell before you upgrade to LTI Advantage. Any other questions at this point?
Nope, that was your only question.
Perfect. Okay, so just to cover and quickly highlight some of the other enhancements that are coming with the use of LTI Advantage. Right now, with the use of the Partner Cloud or the Building Block when you're integrating with Connect, if you are managing and creating assignments in Connect that are 0 points, right? Whether it's a practice assignment or simply an assignment that you're not associating points to. Right now, when you're deploying that content, it still creates that grade item for you. With LTI Advantage, we're making a change. So when you're creating any Connect assignment content that equals or has a 0 point weight, you'll still have the ability to deploy that assignment to create that deep link within Blackboard. But we're eliminating the need for a grade item. So we're not going to be creating a grade item for any 0 point assignment that you're deploying over from Connect. So that is a significant change based on a lot of the feedback that we've received over time in terms of somewhat of the difficulty of managing grade items that are 0 points. So basically, again, with the LTI Advantage, you'll be able to deploy assignments that are of 0 points and will not create a grade item in your Blackboard course. The other, one of the other enhancements we're making is that Blackboard will begin to update any gradebook item that's Connect related. If a student hasn't taken the assignment prior to the due date, we are going to start to send 0 points over from Connect into Blackboard. Right now, we're not doing that with the existing integration, but with LTI Advantage, you'll start to see zeros automatically syncing over into Blackboard for those assignments that a student or students did not take prior to its due date. Next, we're also making some significant improvements around the gradebook sync visibility and functionality. Right now, when you're doing or performing a sync with regards to grade sync, it's basically all or nothing, right? It's synchronizing the whole gradebook. One of the improvements we're making is with LTI Advantage, you'll be able to now sync at an individual student level, an individual assignment level. You'll have more flexibility around what it is you're looking to sync to ensure that both systems are in sync with one another. So that is another significant improvement that we're making around with the use of LTI Advantage. The last more significant change is that with LTI Advantage, when you're making copies term to term, as far as reusing your courses from term to term, right now, as you know, basically you pair and you resync or to relink your content, right? There's multiple steps that are involved in terms of pairing and relinking from term to term. With LTI Advantage, You'll still be able to take advantage of that functionality. However, the assignment linking will be automatic. It will no longer require, after you pair your course for the next term, to have to remember to synchronize to relink your content, right? That's one additional step that we're eliminating, where the relinking of assignment content will be automatic as a result of utilizing the LTI Advantage, term to term. So I'm going to pause there, again, sort of highlighting some of the more significant benefits and enhancements of the use of LTI Advantage. Any questions?
Not at this time, no more.
Okay, perfect. So again, we really wanted to begin the discussion around highlighting what's coming, right? I mean, this is certainly something that will be coming within your Blackboard environment. As I mentioned, our timeline, we're working around Blackboard's timeline with regards to the sunset of our building block and partner cloud integration, which right now we're targeting end of December 2023. So at that particular time, all courses will then transition over into LTI Advantage. Again, we sort of just want to take the opportunity to highlight the benefits, right, of utilizing LTI Advantage if this was something that you were looking to utilize prior to that end date of December of 2023. So Kara, Lindsay, I'll hand it back over to you. I don't know if you have anything to add to the LTI Advantage piece, but I'll sort of pause there. And
there was one question that popped up.
Sure.
Becky asked, is there a plan to allow late submission for adaptive learning / SmartBook assignments?
Good question. With regards to LTI Advantage, I'll need to take that back to the team to determine if that's something that will be included. As of right now, that's not part of the enhancement around LTI Advantage, but that's certainly something that we'll share with the team, and we can circle back on that.
Thank you, Jeremy. We don't have any other questions, but I did just want to reiterate that when you move to the LTI Advantage, you do not have to rebuild your Connect course. I know that was one of the questions that had been asked. And then two, it's really as simple as just changing out your deep links and redeploying those assignments. So, Jeremy mentioned, that there would need to be some cleaning, and that's ultimately, the small bit of cleaning. So if we don't have any other questions, then I am actually going to share my screen, and we'll walk through the integration. So we've got some questions. Let's see. So Jeremy says so Ed, yes, it is something that is already deployed for some. We do have some instructors that are already using the new LTI Advantage. It is already a tool in the in the selection. I think it is named LTI 1.3 updated, I think is its name currently. But yes, it is a tool that is already there that you can use. And then we had another question. We are just removing the links within Blackboard and then putting in new links from Connect. Yes, that is correct. Any other questions? Oh my goodness, that's a long one, Al. We can talk about that, we can talk about that individually so that we can make sure to update your course. Kara, I'm going to go ahead and move on to share my screen. If you could monitor the chat, that would be very helpful.
Yes, I will do that.
Okay, thanks so much. So let's see, I am sharing my screen. Are you all able to see my Blackboard course here?
Yes.
Yes, okay, fantastic. So this should look very similar to something that you all have seen before. I am very thankful to West Kentucky that gave me a template so that I didn't have to build all this out myself. So whenever you are coming into your Blackboard course, you are going to navigate to Books and Tools. If you've not selected Connect before, it's not going to appear here in the list. You're going to have to scroll all the way down to the bottom and choose Browse All Course Tools. This is the list that I had mentioned, about the tool already being available. The tool up here at the top, that is going to be your partner content. But the new LTI tool that we discussed today, is way down here at the bottom. I believe they do go in alphabetical order, but it's the McGraw-Hill Connect 1.3 updated. So if you did want to go ahead and use that, please let Kara or I know, and we can guide you through that. But for the purposes of today, we'll look at the current integration. So you will select on the McGraw-Hill widget, and that will drop down both the SimNet and the Connect. So you'll select your Connect course. And you'll pair with a Connect section. This is a really important step, and often there's a little bit of a hang up here. So it's going to be easier for you if you create your Connect course in Connect before you get to this point. And when you do that, it then becomes an existing Connect course. So I know that that's a little tricky. Not everyone knows exactly what to choose there. So we are going to use, not that course, it's already paired. Well, it looks like I've got everything already paired. We'll add a new section, and here I am doing exactly what I just told you not to. So once you have your new section paired, you have two options that you can return to Blackboard, or you can continue to Connect. If you continue to Connect, you'll be able to see all of your assignments that you have created already. And I am just going to quickly add a reading assignment here so that we can deploy that. With the integration between Blackboard and Connect, you really have two ways that you can bring over your assignments. One that I would recommend is that you bring it over into the folder or the module that you're working in. So what you would do is find your module that you're working in. We'll say that we're going to work here in this first week. And then you'll hover to find the little purple plus sign, and then you'll go to your content market. I remember this because I had the shopping cart, that you're going shopping for the assignments that you want to bring in. Once we have added Connect, it will actually appear here, so you'll have a little bit of a shortcut. You'll click to go to your Connect section. And then you can choose all of the assignments that are going to live in that folder. So you'll select the assignment that you want, and then you'll click on Deploy. The default is going to be for the best grade type. I don't know anyone, that changes that, but just know that if you take a last or an average, you'll need to adjust that here. And then click on the blue deploy button. So on our next page here, there are a couple things to note. It's going to give you a list of all of the assignments that you bring over. If you weight your gradebook, working from home, you have the dogs, right? If you weight your gradebook, please reach out to Kara or myself to discuss your assignment categories here. That's going to be something that is very important for you. If you don't weight your gradebook, then you can just leave it here and click submit. And so now if we scroll down to our content module, you'll see here is our assignment that we brought over. It automatically is going to be hidden from students, and then you just need to make that change. So I'll pause there. Kara, do you want to jump in to help answer some questions? I could hear the chat just ding, ding, ding. So I know we've got a lot.
Yes, I was in the middle of responding to Sharman. I believe Kevin and Jeremy, for the most part, have answered the questions. I'm sending Al's question to you. And Sharman, yes, the LTI Advantage is already available in Ultra. So you and I can talk about that if you would like. If anyone would like, any of my professors would like to talk to me, and of course Lindsay's professors can talk with her. And it's that by December of 2023, everyone will need to use the LTI Advantage because Blackboard itself is going to stop supporting the current building blocks that we're using right now. So it's not something, for fall, you do not have to move to the LTI Advantage way of pairing, if that's something that you're not quite ready to do. But just know that by December of next year, everyone will need to use the LTI Advantage link. And again, it's the way of pairing. Nothing in your Connect course changes. You don't have to rebuild anything in Connect, but it's just the integration is a little different. So if anyone has any questions, though. No? Okay, so Scott says, if you have a complete Connect course created for a current term and you are ready to move assignments over to Blackboard, it is necessary to do a hunt of relative assignments that will go in each folder. Open chapter 1 folder and then just Smartbook, homework, and quiz. And then, Scott, you and I can always talk about this later. I'm just reading through your message. So basically, say for summer, we'll just say for summer, if you wanted to use the LTI Advantage but you have your Blackboard Ultra course and you already have all your existing Connect assignment links in there, if you want to do the pairing with the LTI Advantage, you would need to delete those existing Connect links in your Blackboard course. And when you do the pairing, you would need to redeploy them. So I think that's what. Okay. But yeah, Scott, you and I we can definitely talk about that because I see what you're saying about your folders and stuff. So I think maybe you and I can talk about that. I'll send you an email. We'll make an appointment. Are there any other questions that anyone has? And you can always just hop off, mute if it's easier that way, but
I don't think they can hop off mute unless they're a presenter.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But, of course, if you have any follow-up questions, Kara and I are glad to help. And then we can always, loop in Jeremy and Kevin if it is something, that the two of us aren't able to handle on our own, or if you have more specific questions. So we certainly appreciate you joining us today. And, we appreciate you and your continued support in McGraw-Hill.